Olivia Wood was 72, yet she appeared decades younger. Her face remained lovely, though her large grey eyes betrayed her age. Years ago, she had left her husband Ronald, and together they'd had 2 sons. Jack, the eldest, had died when his younger brother Steve was only 10. Now, Steve was 34, working as a lawyer in London while living with his mother. His modest income didn't trouble him because Olivia was wealthy. Laura, Olivia's niece, also lived with them. After her father died 5 years earlier, she had nowhere else to go and depended entirely on her aunt's generosity. Tall, with dark hair and eyes, Laura was painfully shy and secretly loved her cousin Steve, though she never dared tell him. Steve was equally timid and lacked confidence in himself. Their life together in a beautiful house 25 miles from London seemed perfect. Olivia insisted on candles because the soft glow made her look younger. Afterward, they gathered in the elegant drawing room filled with furniture and artwork Olivia had collected from around the world. Their conversations were always pleasant and cheerful. At 9:30, Laura would carry out the tea trays while Steve stayed behind, listening attentively to everything his mother said. Laura lived in a flat above the old coach house across the courtyard. After dinner, she often wandered the garden alone, listening to Olivia's laughter drifting from the drawing room. In winter, she'd walk to the little bridge over the lake, watching the lighted windows where Olivia and Steve sat so contentedly together. Laura believed Olivia wanted Steve to marry her eventually, but she worried that by the time Olivia died, it would be too late. Olivia typically rested in bed until lunchtime, sometimes not appearing until tea. One afternoon, Laura climbed onto the flat roof to sunbathe. Lying there peacefully, she suddenly heard a soft voice that made her heart race with fear. "No, Jack dear, it wasn't my fault you died instead of marrying Scarlett," the eerie voice whispered. Laura looked around but saw no one. The voice continued, speaking of warnings given and hearts feeling pain. Then it said something that shocked Laura completely. Steve could marry poor boring Laura tomorrow if he wanted, but he doesn't care about her. Laura realized it was Olivia speaking below. The rainwater pipe was carrying her aunt's voice up to the roof. Olivia was speaking her thoughts aloud, unaware anyone could hear. She was expressing guilt about Jack's death. He'd loved a beautiful actress named Scarlett, but Olivia had opposed the match. Jack had fallen ill with a brain disease and died at 23. Laura discovered the pipes opening hidden by leaves near where Olivia sat. For days afterward, Laura listened from the roof while Olivia sunbathed below, but heard nothing more until one June afternoon when Olivia spoke again, this time in French, then English. She mentioned a man named Louis, revealing he was Steve's real father, not Ronald. Louis had been a French priest and, according to Olivia, a wonderful lover. She criticized Steve for being weak and cold compared to his father. Fury overtook Laura. She spoke into the pipe with a deep, terrible voice. "Leave Steve alone. Don't kill him too." After a shocked silence, Olivia whispered, "Did someone speak?" "You killed me." "Don't kill Steve too," Laura said, disguising her voice. "Who's speaking?" Olivia asked fearfully. "Jack," Laura replied in the same haunting tone. A storm rolled in as Laura climbed down and rushed to help Olivia inside. That evening, Olivia didn't come to tea. When she finally appeared at dinner, Laura switched on the bright ceiling light. Steve gasped at his mother's face. Without the flattering candlelight, Olivia looked old, ugly, and filled with hatred. "Mother, you look like a little old lady," Steve said, genuinely shocked. Olivia's rage exploded. She declared that Steve and Laura should marry quickly since they were so in love, but added viciously that cousins shouldn't marry anyway because Steve wasn't really her nephew. His father had been that French priest, a great man cursed with a weak son. Olivia descended into madness. For a week, she refused medicine, pacing her room, looking haggard and hateful. She had her mirrors removed, unable to face her reflection. Laura felt frightened by what her trick had caused, almost feeling sorry, until she realized this was simply Olivia's true face finally revealed. Steve and Laura spent their evenings together. One night, Laura asked if his mother had ever truly loved anyone. "Only herself and power," Steve answered quietly. "She controlled everyone's lives. She was beautiful and grew strong by destroying others. She destroyed Jack and was destroying me too. Can't you forgive her?" Laura asked. "No, she stole people's hopes and happiness and crushed them." 2 days later, Olivia died. Her weak heart couldn't handle the strong drugs she'd been taking, but even in death, she had her revenge. The wealthy Olivia would left Steve merely £1,000 and Laura only 100. Everything else went to a museum bearing her own name, ensuring she'd be remembered while those she'd controlled were left with almost nothing.